As the final prize slot neared, the last few marbles just wouldn't go in. Mark was completely panicked and passed out. The casino staff tried to drag him away, but Mark hurriedly pulled out the last bit of money he had, and tried to buy another marble card. However, he was rejected. They mocked him, saying that the money he had was only enough for a few marbles, while one marble card cost over 3 million. Mark collapsed upon hearing this, crying and begging the surrounding gamblers for money. But since it was a few million, no one could come up with that much. At this moment, Mark's helplessness brought joy to the manager, who continued to kick and scold him, saying Mark was like a mad dog, destined to be a slave for life. However, just then, a shower of bills suddenly fell from above the casino. The uncle slowly walked out from behind the game machine. It turned out that he had sneaked away earlier, stole the money from the vault, and was now getting revenge for the deceived gamblers. He was willing to be caught and sent to prison, rather than let Mark fail at this critical moment. Then, he pulled out 10 million from his pocket, adding to the 10 million on the floor.
2000万を開示この金で撃て敵をこの悪魔の不当な蓄え収奪金を全部吐き出させろ
Mark, holding this life-saving money, walked confidently back to the game machine. The final battle was about to begin. At this point, he didn't need any more luck. All he had to do was keep inserting marbles. Meanwhile, the manager was in a state of panic, praying for a miracle. But this was just the self-deception of the powerless. The disc inside the machine looked different now. The falling marbles were entering the final slot. The marbles in the disc kept accumulating, and the manager's mind felt like a million soldiers were attacking his fortress. No matter how he shot back, the marbles kept coming, relentlessly rising to the top. The marbles were about to overwhelm the final defense. The manager was filled with uncontrollable fear, even begging Mark to stop. Of course, Mark wasn't going to back down. Suddenly, the machine let out a furious roar, like a demon's death cry. Mark seized the opportunity and continued his attack. Instantly, the entire casino erupted in excitement, and the crowd started chanting Mark's name. The last marble fell. The disc was now completely filled. One by one, the marbles successfully entered the prize slot. At this moment, it felt as though time itself had stopped. The uncle embraced Mark, satisfied and expressing his joy. The casino crowd was cheering for Mark, calling his name in unison. Mark felt like a hero standing in the light. But just as everyone was celebrating, the game machine suddenly emitted a bright light. The marbles began rolling out of the machine non-stop. The uncle hurriedly ran to get a basin. The marbles filled several basins. Each marble was worth 4,000. This was the path to sudden wealth. Everyone was celebrating joyously, and Mark felt an unprecedented happiness. However, when the boss found out about this, he was furious, nearly going crazy. He scolded the manager, calling him useless for losing 7 billion. The boss immediately ordered his subordinates, telling them to take the manager to the mines to work as a slave. Soon, the staff received the order, and they began to prepare to take the manager away. Mark quickly stepped forward. Although he hated the manager, he